Good evening, I am Alvin Roy Fernandez. This is my second report, report number 30, SAC Sentence Completion Test. SSCT is one of the projective tests. Like other sentence completion tests, a person's response reflects or surfaces latent or covert needs, conflicts, values, and thought processes. There are themes or areas of concentration depending on the objective of a particular test. The stimuli are sentence stems, or ito yung mga opening words or phrases. Tapos yung response naman, there are a variety and almost unlimited possible responses. It is used mainly in clinical or research settings. An advantage of a written completion test is it can draw out responses that may be too embarrassing in a face-to-face interview or test. Sa history and influence naman, Hermann Ebbinghaus is credited for creating the first sentence completion test as part of an intelligence test in 1879. There is also evidence of the psychoanalytic influence in tests like these. Tests like this, Carl Jung thought that inner notions can be analyzed with these kinds of tests. She is popular with the word association test. In 1928 naman, Arthur Payne used sentence completion tests to guide people admitted in asylums and institutions. He also used it in assessing career-related personality traits. Another influencer in this field is Alexander Tendler in his study of emotional reactions. There are many other sentence completion tests. The following are the more popular ones. To be honest, before my research on this report, I only know of SAC sentence completion test. So, na-discover ko, merong RISB or the Rotor Incomplete Sentence Blank, which was developed by Rotor and Rafferty in 1950. It has 40 stems and a 7-point system. The next is the Complete Sentence Task by Lanyon and Lanyon, developed in 1980. It has a 3-point scale. And another, sabi nila ito daw yung pinaka-effective, is the Washington University Sentence Completion Test, or the WUSCT, developed by the following: Lovinger, Wessler, Redmore in 1970. The SAC Sentence Completion Test was developed by Joseph Sachs and Sidney Levy. Tapos they were helped by other psychologists in the New York Veterans Administration Mental Hygiene Service in 1950. Sa SSCT, there are 60 sentence stems or items dito sa particular test na to. Then there are 4 areas or themes. First is about family. Dito, questions or yung mga stems or items about mother, fathers, or the family as a whole. The next area is about sex. So may mga questions or mga items on women, sexual relationships, and marriage. The third naman is the interpersonal relationships, about friends and acquaintances, colleagues at work or school, people being supervised. Next naman is yung self-concept, fear, guilt feelings, goals, and attitude towards self. Now, this test can be administered individually or in groups. Time limit is not really imposed. The suggestion is from 20 to 40 minutes. Maybe less than a minute per sentence stem. The materials needed are a pen and an answer sheet. Okay, this is a sample instruction given. Below are 60 partly completed sentences. Read each one and finish it by writing the first things that comes to your mind. Work as quickly as you can. If you cannot complete an item, circle the number and return to it later. Uh, there are two sample items, but I purposely left out the important words. There is also a Filipino version or translation, but I don't know if it was an authorized translation. So, ito yung sample item. No? If blank, for me, blank. Then I know it is blank, but I am blank of. Then you fill your response. No? In scoring naman, similar areas or themes are grouped together and is given an interpretative summary based on the responses. There is also a point system. So SSCT, 2 points for severely disturbed responses, which might require therapeutic aid in handling emotional conflicts. Next naman, 1 point for mildly disturbed responses, which has evidence of conflict but appears to handle them without therapeutic aid. Next naman, 0 point for no significant disturbance, and an X if there is no sufficient evidence. In closing, I'm sorry, I wasn't able to research if there are purchase requirements for an authentic version and the price. But no, pagka nag-search ka sa Google, no, it is all over the internet. No, I'm not sure if Joseph Sack and Sidney Levy are still getting royalties for their tests. This is a short report. In closing, let me share my experience as a college student in 1999. Practicum in a medical facility, mainly catering for OFWs, particularly seamen. There was a supervising psychologist or at least a psychometrician. Kaya ako nagka-quote-unquote kasi at that time, wala pang license ang mga psychologist or wala pang psychologist, licensed psychologist or psychometrician at that time. Imagine. At that time, yun nga, wala pang mga exam, wala pa yata sila sa PRC, obviously wala. But if I remember correctly, yung mga test na ina-administer nila, and dahil nagpa-practicum kami doon, we were asked to help and assist. So we were administering an intelligence test. Ito nga, SSCT. I forgot yung intelligence test kung ano yun. Ito, SSCT, I remember this very well. I think there was also the draw a person test. Tapos, I am not really sure if there was also a personality test. The objective was to measure general intelligence and general conduct or behavior. If I'm not mistaken, yung mga red flags nila is yung kung the person or the applicant is aggressive or ang isa namang hinahanap nila is yung on teachability. Pero I may be wrong about that kasi it was a long time ago. The medical clinic psychology unit did not pass or fail an applicant. The results of the test and the assessment is forwarded to the hiring agency and they basically decide to pass or fail an applicant. Whenever Dr. Macapagal refers to yung mga joke niya in the past about maraming pera, mag-test ka lang sa mga OFWs, I smile because I remember that experience more than 20 years ago. So basically that ends my report. Hopefully you learned something and nag-enjoy kayo. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.